Appreciate all of you being here tonight. We're here to celebrate what the Lord has done this season in these young men, and extremely proud of them. And we want to honor the Lord, and we want to honor them tonight. And thank you to parents and family and friends for being here. We're excited about what the Lord has done and what the Lord has planned for these guys in the future. So we're kind of doing a combination of, like we do at practice and game. Dress, this vest from the Surf Shop. I want to give them some props. We're 4-0 in this vest, and I'll probably sleep with it every night for the next year. So we're dressed for action in our game uniforms or game attire when we go to school and when we go to coach. But we also want to do a few things like we do at practice. So the way we start each practice is we start it with Scripture. So I'm going to have Ben, CP, better known as just CP, baby, to read this passage for us, okay?
Yes, sir. Don't you realize that in a race, everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away, but we do it for an eternal prize. So I run with purpose in every step. I'm not just shadow boxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified.
Great job, boy. So I always say, guys, where's that from? Anybody know? Ben knows. Where? Hey, Paul wrote it. That narrows it down a lot, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Corinthians somewhere?
It's in Corinthians, that's right. My boy, old Ben Helton, always comes through. So 1 Corinthians 9, 24 through 27. So this passage here pretty much sums up kind of what we were thinking as far as our season and how we wanted to do things. We wanted the guys to basically do two things. We wanted them to honor the Lord and give Him glory for any success that they got. And these guys honored the Lord on and off the court all season long. And I was just pleading with the Lord throughout the season to continue to give them success so that they would be encouraged by how their attitude, their work ethic, their respect for officials, one another, opponents, coaches, fans. I wanted that to translate in the future to other areas of their life. And I wanted them to continue to have success. So, and really, Championship Week, I'm praying always, just pleading, Lord, let the good guys win. I know the good guys are going to win in the end if you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. But I'm like, please, let these guys win this thing because they are doing it the right way. So first and foremost, we as coaches wanted them to honor the Lord in the way they prepared for games at practice and during games. And secondly, we wanted to work our tails off to be the very best basketball players we could be, to try to win as many games as we could and to come home with this trophy right here. And that's what these boys did, and I'm extremely proud of them for bringing this thing home. Anybody knows me, I love the Lord, but I'm extremely competitive. And those can go hand in hand as long as you keep it in check, don't they, son? So, extremely proud of these guys. They honored the Lord throughout the season, and except for one little mishap, one little technical foul, we were pretty clean on those this year. About it, Will George. So a lollipop kick of the ball back to the referee got us a tech. You believe that? I mean, we do that every day at practice. So we all laughed about that. But the guys were really outstanding in the way they carried themselves and the way that they, interacted with one another and the opponents as well. Even when they were being taunted, they held their composure. So I'm extremely proud of them for that. So I want them to continue to do that. This verse talks about disciplining your body in whatever you're doing, whatever athletic endeavors you choose to go in. Got some guys in baseball and soccer now, track, tennis, golf. We want you to continue to work hard at whatever your craft is. And that goes on into once you become an adult and have a job, hey man, be the best you can be. Be the best on the team. Be the best at your workplace. I want you guys to continue to strive for excellence. And that's what you guys did this year. And in all that, Paul says that, you know, these things right here are going to fade. You know, it's not going to last forever. But eternity in your hearts and doing things the right way will. And what we did, we said early on, we said if we get this thing, we're going to put it down on the floor and we're going to pray and thank God for allowing us to get that. And that's exactly what these guys did. We turned every blessing, every success into praise. And Paul's saying things of this world are going to fade, but to continue on doing what's right. So guys, for you, continue in the Word, continue reading the Bible, continue praying, continue encouraging one another. And those things are going to last. Continue to tell others about Jesus Christ. So that's what I'm excited to see in the lives of you guys, is how you're going to excel in the future in whatever God calls you to do, and how you're going to impact the kingdom for Him. I'm super excited about that.
Parts of this program are brought to you by Dr. Patrick Hansen and Optum Healthcare, located at the corner of Industrial Boulevard and Moore Station Road. Optum Healthcare in Dublin.
My name is Jeremy Blackstock. I'm the head of school at Trinity Christian. We would invite you to come to our campus so we can show you around and discuss ways that we can partner with your family in Christian education. Our goal here is to teach the truth and to have students leave here prepared to serve others and serve God in their communities.
At Georgia First Bank, we understand that experience is everything, and we promise to get it right the first time, every time. Selling a mortgage loan is a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to buying a new home. At Georgia First, we have quick turnaround for approvals, usually 24 to 48 hours. And the reason for that is local decision making. Let Georgia First secure your next mortgage loan. Georgia First Bank, Soperton, Vidalia, and now in Dublin. Georgia First Bank, member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
It's March, and that means three things: St. Patrick's Day celebrations, championship basketball, and great deals at Dublin Nissan. With rates as low as 0% on new Nissans and 3.9% on select CPO models, now's the time to save a pot of gold at Dublin Nissan.
Pathfinder 0% for 36 months. Frontier 2.99% for 36 months.
Congratulations to the Trinity Christian Crusaders and the Wilkinson County Warriors for their state championships.
I want to go now into usually they're getting on the line now and running 3-on-2, 2v1 or 2v1, or getting the stretches in. So next we're going to go just give you a little bit of the season rewind. So this summer we got together. We didn't have huge numbers. Some guys were still involved in other things, but the guys that got together, we really didn't have enough guys to go out into the community and scrimmage. And it's a little bit anxiety provoking when you know all of your upcoming opponents are getting some good game time in the summer. You know, you're hearing about this team waxing this team, and you're like, oh boy, they're going to be really good. And we just got together. We worked on our skills, tried to build each other up, encourage one another, worked our tails off, and we brought some alumni in. Some of you guys in the room came in and worked with us, and we scrimmaged Trinity alumni. And these boys worked hard and improved this summer. So, you know, from the summer ball, as coaches, we didn't want their confidence to be shaken by taking them out into the community and being destroyed. And hey, I got all faith in the world, and y'all wouldn't have been destroyed. But we wanted to bring you guys along slowly. And so interestingly, didn't take them out of the gym this summer, and then the Lord has us on the biggest stage possible at Mercer University, playing in the Final Four, playing for the state championship. That's just the way the Lord does things. If you humble yourself before the Lord, He will exalt you in due time. And He will exalt you to bring Himself glory. And these guys just continue to do that. And they continue to just point to the Lord. So we started out the season, won our first game, felt pretty good about ourselves up at FPD, beat a 4A school. But then we learned FPD wasn't really good. So we're like, okay, that's great. And then we came home and had a loss, and then we had a big win the next game, and then had a big game coming up, the fourth game of the season. I was really wanting that one big time. We lose. After that game, we're 2-2, and I'm just thinking through. Everybody's left. As I often do, I walk around the gym, pray, do whatever. I'm in the locker room, and I'm like, Lord, not supposed to be this way. It's not the way I drew it up, not the way I wanted it, And the Lord said, these guys hear me say that a lot, the Lord said. When I'm saying the Lord said, it's what I feel like I'm trying to yield to the Lord, and I feel like the Lord is speaking. And sometimes I see a door open physically, but I don't always hear a voice. But what I'm saying the Lord said to me was Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. All thy ways acknowledge Him, He will make thy path straight. He's like, look, trust me. I'm doing this. It's not you. It's not about you. And that really helped me take myself out. Point to Him and try to help these guys as much as possible. So from that time on, I'm like, yeah, Lord, you got it. These are your guys. You know how much I love these guys, how much I want them to succeed, and you're going to have to do it. Surrounding me with great coaches. These guys, Robbie, Nick, James, incredible guys. Couldn't have done it without them, without a single one of them. I mean, less one of them, we don't succeed. And they're unbelievable guys. They love these boys and pour into them and, take time off work. And they're awesome guys. I appreciate them. They're really awesome. So the Lord knew how much we wanted these boys to have success. And He just kept saying, just trust. Just trust. That's what I kept hearing over and over again. Next day, on social media, I'm not on there a whole lot, but I just do it to see what the guys are up to. And Hayden Clay, my boy right here, love this kid. On his, what you think's on Instagram the next day? Hayden Clay posts. What you think it's going to be? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. I'm going to cry before I get down from here tonight, boys. But I mean, come on. Like, Lord's got this thing. I mean, it's game on. Let's go, And then we, from there on, we hit long winning streaks. And we had a few downs, and, we had the opponent up in one of Robbins that treated us pretty harshly that first time we played them. But I remember Clay called me up for an interview. I was scared to death. And Clay and I are talking, and Clay says, tell me about this CFCA team. How's it looking tonight? I said, Clay, I feel like this could be the first game in at least a 3-game series, and I'm hoping a 4-game series. Because I know we got 2 games against them, home and away, and I'm thinking we're going to make that region championship game, and I'm sure hoping we make a run and get that state championship game. So I said, this is the first of what could be a 4-game series. And it turned out it did become a 4-game series. Now, we talked about matchups and all that, and, I think we were off on our matchups the first time around quite a bit, but we learned from our failure. And that's what you got to do in life, guys. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to have some ups and downs. There's going to be some failures, but man, Lord's got you. And you got brothers that love you to encourage you to get back up. And that's what y'all did. That's what we did. Strengthen yourself in the Lord. That's what David had to do when he got back in the Philistines. I got my Bible scholars in there. Philistines came in and took all the loot, took his family and all. Sometimes you got to strengthen yourself in the Lord, and hate losing. But I knew the Lord had us. So you know, we were only losing to them and John Mills at that point, and you know, both powerhouses. So we got to play CFCA again. Well, we got it figured out this time. We're gonna go that 1-3-1 zone defense. We got them, you know, and well, that worked for a little while, and then they beat us there too. And then next time we tried the old triangle and 2 on them, and we had started going away from Henry because Jalen was all over him, and he was just interfering with the game so much. So turned out none of those 3 times did anything that we did work. So we had to go back to the drawing board. But what was happening was these boys were being built up, and you were seeing texts from Jim Coleman said, "We got these boys." Hayden Clay stepping up, saying, "Come on, baby, they're not beating us again." All these guys stepping up, believing, and we talked about that early on about believe. You know, I said, guys, if the Lord has called you to something, and every day at practice, He called us to practice. Every day in a game, He called us to give it the best we could do in that game, perform at the highest level we could possibly perform. If He's called you to something, He's going to empower you and enable you to do what He's called you to do. He's not going to leave you hanging. He says He's always with you. Lo, I'm always with you, you know? So these guys believed before we played them again. And it took a little while to get back to them. We had Briarwood in the first round of state, and we waxed them. These boys, they were hungry. They were ready. I mean, been 2014 since we won a game in state or something like that. Old George was telling me about them, and I'm saying, "George, how long has it been?" I mean, all I knew is we got Briarwood, and as coaches, we were studying our tails off. We're trying to figure out how we're going to beat these boys. And that's what we did all year. We looked for, just like any coaching staff does, we look for weaknesses and trying to exploit them and trying to find the tendencies. And I tell you what, now you tell these guys, like, look, this guy, he got no left. Or when he goes left, he's going to go up for a jump shot. Or these guys are locked in. They don't forget it. They are like, I got him, coach. I got him. I got him. My dog over there, boy, whoo, he got him, boy. So we said, if the Lord calls you to something, He's going to enable you and empower you to do it. So we get through Briarwood, you know, making history. You know, that was pretty cool. But, man, we just wanted the next W. We're like, who's next? Brentwood. Well, you hear the old saying, it's hard to beat somebody 3 times. Well, you got these boys right here, you're going to get it done, though. And these boys locked in. There was absolutely no let down. It was just get after them for the entire game, 32 minutes. And, you know, 21-point win there. So then we're in the Final Four. You know, we're getting all this attention. And I was, you know, just praying the guys wouldn't get so caught up in the moment that they would forget what we're there for, you know. And you know, first honor the Lord, give it everything you got. Let's be successful on the court. So we're going against Furtop Prep. You know, I asked the coach at the coaches meeting the Monday after championship game. I was like, Coach, how many times you won this thing? He said 3. I'm like, oh crap, I'm glad I didn't know that going in. But he was a very nice guy, but very, very well spoken, and he's had some excellent teams at Furtop Prep. So they had won the state 3 times in the last 10 or 12 years, I think. So it was quite an opponent, and but our boys were ready. You know, we got up. We had a 12, 13-point lead, and then they came back on us, tied us up. We had to hold them. You know, we you know, going back and forth about what are we going to play on defense. You know, we knew they had 3 really good shooters, and then they had 2 guys who were like, well, we're just going to have to live or die with how he does, you know. So we really locked in on 3 guys, preventing them from getting shots. Got to overtime, we get up, and then we're up by 1, you know, 25, 27 seconds to go. Again, they got the last shot, you know. It's like, holy moly. So these guys, man, they never wavered. Their belief never wavered. Even after an earlier loss, it never wavered. These guys are like, oh, we gonna get it, you know? And I just wish everybody could see what we could see before the game, during the game, in the huddles. I mean, it is unreal they're just locked. They don't know what's going on around them. They are locked in, and it's just like, whew, they are ready. I mean, they're warriors ready to be just turned loose. And so, you know, we hold them. Shot goes up. Guy took the shot that we wanted. We didn't really want him to get an open look, but old Hayden Clay, he's old Hayden come out there, 6'9" coming at you. You're going to adjust your shot a little bit, you know. Old boy couldn't make that shot. So off the rim, I'm like, man, Lord got this thing. We rolling now. CFCA better watch out. So, you know, we get that game, and then, you know, then what do? Man, 3 times. Anybody I talked to, everybody I talked to was nice, but they're like, you could tell they're like, y'all ain't got a chance. I know that's what they were saying when they'd leave our conversation. I'm just like, it's us against the world, guys. I mean, us and your mamas, they the only ones believe we can win this thing, you know, and some of them are doubting. So, you know, but man, when I looked in these boys' eyes that day at practice, shoot, I'm like, I don't know what CSCA is doing today, and I later found out it wasn't much. They should have had their tails in there working, because our boys were working 2 hours, a 2-hour solid practice. And before I went to practice that day, I kid you not, I say the Lord spoke to me. The Lord gave me the assignments. Coach Foskey had been working on some new plays. The Lord gave me the assignments on defense. When I walked in the gym, I said to the coaches, I said, all right, before y'all shoot me down, y'all hear me out. I said, but we got them. I said, we got them, boys. And we went through how we were going to match up with them. And I'd done that with Clay early on, and that didn't work. But I felt like this was divinely inspired as to how we best could match up to those guys and get them out of rhythm, get JG5 all flustered, frustrated, AFW right here. And Coleman on 1, had George on 10. I said, George, if that boy tries to post you up, push his butt out. Don't let him do that. I said, all he wants to do anyway is stand out there at the 3-point line, hold his hand up. I said, you got him. And we had Henry on 4. I like that matchup, keep him from driving. We had Hayden on 14. I really like that matchup, because I knew it would adjust his corner shot. And you could see it adjusted quite a bit. And, you know, like, hey, don't give him the open 3 in the corner. That's his shot. He's not as good from the wing. He likes the free throw line, goes to the block. I said, but don't give him an open look. If he starts to drive on you, hey, he's slow. You catch up to him. Your length, use that length. You got him. And these boys did not let down. They were awesome. I mean, it took the coaches 4 times to figure it out, but these boys, they were locked in every time, and everything we gave them, they always believed it was going to work. And these boys did not let down. They were awesome, and pulled it out for us. And you know, there was some divine intervention there. You could say one way or another. I know the Lord was with us, and He really helped us in that. One thing at practice the day before that championship game, we as coaches were getting together, and I said, boys, y'all gather up and pray. And so they were on that court gathering up, praying, and that was a beautiful sight to see. I think Mandy might have been there. They were gathering up, praying. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like, man, it was the best season of my life. I mean, just to witness this thing, I'm just like observing. And then there were several more times during that practice that they would huddle up and they would pray. And one time old Holden, where's my boy Holden? Oh, he was in there with them too. He was leading them. Holden was in there leading them. Where are you holding? That boy. He was right in the middle of them, praying it up. I'm like, Lord, please listen to these prayers. Answer these prayers, please. Because, man, the Lord's just got such great things for these guys. I just wanted that so much. That, not just for that, but that they would gain confidence in anything else the Lord has for them to do. And that was really awesome. So I'm extremely proud of these guys. And
Since 1965, our family has proudly provided physical, occupational, and speech therapy to Dublin, Lawrence County, and surrounding areas. Currently offering physical and occupational therapies, our mission is to work with patients and their families to reach an optimum level of independence. Whether post-sports injury, post-surgery, post-stroke, or just general wear and tear from everyday living, we strive to help you reach your goals and return to what you love doing.
My name is Jack Baines. I'm a resident of Dublin, Georgia, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to express my gratitude to Bass Rehab. Approximately 3 years ago, my wife had a major stroke, which left her with no use of the left side of her body. I was able to get her home in the May time frame after going through other facilities because of the pandemic. And Chuck was one of the first that came to our house to start the rehab process. It's made all the difference in the world. And as you can imagine, being her caregiver, she's totally dependent on me and one from home instead that comes in the morning and the evening, that this is our social outlet every week. After having some rehab here and identifying that I had a pelvic had deteriorated and required a total hip replacement. So I guess you could say a family that does rehab together stays together. So as far as with Chuck, Diane doing speech, and the group doing the occupational therapy, this has become our family.
Remember, where you go for physical and occupational therapy is your choice. So, when your doctor prescribes it, choose Bass.
We're going to move on now into JV awards, okay?
So at this time, we will recognize our JV group. We are really proud of these guys. They played hard all year long. Win-loss record was not where we would ideally like for it to be, but we told them all year, do two things. We want you to play hard and learn, get better, and have fun. And I think they did that unequivocally, okay? There was no letdown after a loss. Now, they were disappointed after some losses, but there was no letdown. I think all of you recognize what kind of chemistry we had with this group. JV from, 9th through 12th grade, okay? So we were proud of them for that reason. I went back and looked at the scorebook earlier today, and except for 1 or 2 games, maybe 3, they were all competitive. We were in every game, okay? So I'm proud of them for that. But at this time, you guys, as I call your name up, just if you'll come up and kind of stand with me for a minute. The first name I have here, he cannot be here. I think most of you know that he broke a collarbone. And if you haven't already, please be praying for Hampton, because I think he's going to have surgery. Is that right? So he must have been in some pain, and I hate that he couldn't attend today. But I'm going to go ahead and just say a few words about Hampton. Obviously, he plays confident and aggressively, okay? He has the right mindset every time he steps on the floor. And I've not shared this with anybody but my son. I've used him as an example of the right mindset when I've talked to my son. That's the way you're supposed to play, okay? And I was hoping that he could be here to hear that. He's a really good defender. He's aggressive on the ball, and he's always in good position off the ball, okay? Whenever we played a team and we went man-to-man, we always put him on the best player for the other team, okay? So that's Hampton. Next player, this young man, Ben Helton. Come up and stand with me, buddy. So this guy is obviously very athletic, okay? Weightlifter. I hear the guys cutting up quite a bit about, is it leg day or arm day or what we're working on core, right? When he gets in his mind and puts his head down, he can get to the rim or get a shot off, okay? Very athletic. He actually led the team in total points this year. He's also very analytical, very smart, okay? We may catch him at some point thinking about something very intently. It might have been 15 or 20 minutes ago that we had that conversation. But very smart young man. We give him a hard time about that too. But what I like most about Ben is kind of his passion for, well, you guys just saw it. When Coach read the verse, or CP, we read the verse, Coach was asking, where did that come from? Where is that from? You know, he was always one of the ones who challenged himself to know where that verse was read from, okay? We always prayed pre and post game, and we never assigned someone to pray, but asked for volunteers. And there were a handful of guys that actually stepped up and prayed, and I think, Coach, I might be wrong, but I think Helton was probably one of the ones that prayed the most.
Absolutely.
For pre and post game. So for those things, I'm really proud of him. Okay. If I gotta stand up here, you gotta stand up here. Isaiah. All right, so imagine you move to a new country, to a new school, to a new house, new friends. Oh, and you're going to play an organized sport for the first time ever, right? This is the first time you've played organized basketball, right? Okay, imagine all that. But every day this guy comes in with the right perspective and the right attitude. Okay, every day. I'm going to share this story. So you guys may not get this, but so the very first game, somebody throws him a great pass. It's right on his basket. Instead of squaring up and scoring, there's a defender there, and he goes. We laughed, but nobody said anything to him. The next day at practice, he goes, "Coach, I didn't know you were supposed to prioritize getting fouled." So I guess he's always played pickup ball, and you get it in the hoop. But that's the personality he brought every day. Okay, or we may walk in pregame and see him having a Spanish lesson with the team and teaching them how not to get deported.
He is holding the class. I got the classroom at Covenant.
Wish we had some video of that.
We do.
Oh, do you? Maybe later. Anyway, he improved all year. Great attitude, great perspective. He even had, I think, 18 points in one game, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Isaiah. All right, Hayden Bowles, the microwave himself. All right. How many know what that means? I mean, don't be shy. If you know, that's great. So there's an NBA player that was nicknamed the microwave because it's like instant offense, right? So this guy, very first varsity game of the year, goes in, gets the ball, nothing but net. After the game, I walk in the locker room and say, "Microwave," and it's stuck. The rest of the year, he's known as Microwave. But he does have a knack for being in the right place at the right time, okay? And that's a skill not everyone has. But I'm impressed with this guy because he was in the gym since the summer every time the doors were open. And I'm not talking about just team stuff. When we would have, play some pickup ball and I would open it up to these guys not doing something else, this guy was here. And you could tell from last year to this year, he improved. He was even second on the team in three-pointers made this year. Okay? Good job. Did I give you one? Yeah. All right, Austin. Come on up, buddy. Right here. All right. So, any of these guys that have played for me before, and this year is no different, I tell these guys two things. What are the only two things? Well, what are two things that you can always control? That's the comedian of the group, in case you haven't figured it out. What? That's one. What's the other one? Attitude and effort. Two things. It doesn't matter what else is going on. You can always control your attitude and effort. And this guy embodies that every day. Okay? He's always the kind of person that... So we talk about leaving something better than you found it. It doesn't matter what it is. A locker room, a bench, whatever. when we get off a bench, he's one of the guys that's always looking to make sure the bottles and the cups are cleaned up, like we've asked him to. Some of these other guys, you got to remind them, and they still don't do it. But he always does. After practice, picking balls up, putting them in the rack, okay? He's always doing that. I know, right? And effort. You know, we got a lot of guys that play real hard. I don't know that we got one on the team that plays as hard as he does consistently. Okay, all the time. Sometimes you got to ask him to dial it back so he don't hurt himself or somebody else. But hey, I would rather him play that way than the other way. You know what I mean? Attitude and effort. And he's been working on his three-point shot too. It's getting better. All right, Will Foskey. All right, so Will started a little hesitant to start the year, in my opinion. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you right off, if a lot of you have probably coached a child, a son, a daughter, it's hard for that son or daughter. Okay? So I give him props because I've coached him a lot over his lifetime. But he started a little hesitant, and he has to listen to me, not just at the gym, but on the way home and when we get home. But he hung in there. He gained confidence the next several games, and I feel like he probably ended the season one of our more consistent players, in my opinion. He was second on the team in total points scored, and he was by far made the most three-pointers on the team, more than double the second player. So. All right, that leaves Carter Lee. Come on up, Carter. So Carter's one of these guys that's always willing to work, always willing and ready to work. He came to a practice before football season was over. We had to say, Carter, you can't do that, man. You can watch and cheer him on, but I can't let you practice. But that's the kind of guy he is. And coaches notice that sort of thing, and they appreciate it. Okay. He holds himself to a high standard, which is evident in practice when he doesn't do something just right. He gets frustrated really easy. But I think that it's also evident because of that he does a lot of things really well. I think top rebounder, probably. He plays good defense. And he turned into a pretty good shot blocker this year, which I had not seen before this year. Okay, pretty good hand, pretty good shot blocker. But all of that included, I think the best thing about Carter when we talk about what he does well is he's a good teammate. He's a really good teammate. And we got a lot of guys like this, but Carter stands out. He's encouraging. He lifts up his teammates. He's willing to do whatever we need to. The one thing I would say is you have to watch him and Clay in practice because they're always cutting up and joking. I'm not real sure what about. Yes, we saw it more than you realized. But anyway, Carter. All right, you guys want to have a seat real quick? Yeah. Get a picture and then.
You can say the two guys.
Well, we got some other coaches now, if you want them. All of us.
You want all the coaches?
I think if you want me, let's get all of them.
Y'all leave the podium.
Is that far enough?
Yeah.
You're so tall. Hey, do you want to just stand by hold for just a second? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Automax, your local repair shop, family owned and operated. Our mechanics are all ASE certified for 100% satisfaction guaranteed. We service all makes and models, foreign and domestic. So come see us at Automax for complete auto repair. We offer certified auto repairs, mufflers, brakes, engine repairs, diagnostics, struts, suspension, and a whole lot more. That's Automax, 707 Kellam Road, Dublin. Call us at 606-6868. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Automax.
Ready? D-A-I-L-E-Y.
Flooring, a proven contractor of commercial and residential coverings. For sales and information, call 290-6084. Dublin's newest and most modern hotel is the Hampton Inn and Suites. Relax and enjoy your stay while near the best in dining, golf courses, and business centers. Start your day with a free hot breakfast. Enjoy our pool, indoor fitness center, and Wi-Fi. Plan your next family reunion, meeting, training session, or social gathering at Hampton Inn and Suites, 103 Travel Center, located by Longhorn and Cracker Barrel. Hampton Inn and Suites by Hilton.
We do have 3 JV awards. I'll give these out very quickly. The reasons I mentioned when I talk about each one are the reasons they are getting these awards, okay? So the Christian Character Award goes to Ben Hilton. The Offensive Award goes to Will Foskey. And the last award was the player that couldn't be here. The Defensive Award goes to Hampton Grosh.
All right, I need Matt Carswell to come up to the stage. When I got the text from Matt that he was going to play basketball, I was super excited because Matt, you know, when he's around, he's got your back, and it was just a great joy and honor to have him on our team this year. You don't always hear Matt speak, but you know that he's there, and you know that he's with you, and you know he's got your back. And he was a great leader for us as one of the 3 seniors on the team, and got a bright football future ahead of him. Super proud of him. Matt works really hard. He banged with Hayden and Anthony, made them a lot better. I mean, he would really bang with him and Isaiah. So extremely proud of him, and appreciate all that he meant to the basketball program this season. Matt. All right, we're going. All right, hold it down, guys. Let's go now. Hey, lock in. All right, hey, we're going with the Trinity Awards now, and the coaches awards for the players. So first award is the Crusader Award. This Crusader, you know, it's who we are as a school, and we're bold and strong in our faith, and we're warriors for Christ. And we gave the Crusader Award to Henry Williams this year. All right, next award is our Defensive Award. I ask you like the Bible verse. Can anybody tell me who that's going to be? My dog, Jim Coleman. So, love that guy. Jim, Jim's a sacrificial guy. The things that Jim did for this team, they don't show up in the stat book. You know, one thing I always talk with Jim about, I said, Jim, we always put him on their best player. 99% of the time, maybe. I guess, yeah, I mean, Jeb or Jalen, I mean, you pick your poison there. But usually Jim was on their guy. And I say, Jim, however many points under his average is, we're going to add that to your point total. So Jim averaged over 20 points a game. I mean, he was getting after it. And, I could see the look on their eyes. They hated for Jim Coleman to guard them. And I'd be like, Jim, find out what he had for breakfast. And Jim was like, hey, I think he had Fruit Loops. we had a good time with that. So Jim, I love this boy. He gives you everything he's got. And I'm extremely proud of you. Going to play football at the next level. He and Matt both, just really proud of both of these guys, and are going to miss them. And love you guys. Proud of these 3 seniors here. So great job, Jim. Appreciate you. All right, the next award, this goes, if you had to have like a poster child of our program, our team this year, it'd be this guy. This guy's kind, respectful. He does everything the coaches want him to do. If we needed him to guard a bigger guy, I knew he could handle it. If I tell him to push him out. Need him to run the point, he'd run the point. Need him to be the shooting guard, he'd be the shooting guard. If I need him to be in the back on the 1-3-1, he'd be in the back. And for his size, he's unbelievable at getting rebounds and block shots. Crazy. He's like top 5 in the state in block shots. I'm like, are you kidding me? There's a guy last night, Henry and I watched, I'm like, that's Will George right there, buddy, with his little block. It was impressive. So Will George epitomizes the type of player any coach wants. And extremely proud of him and his contributions to the program this year. And so the Coach's Award this year goes to Will George. All right, so this next award is called the Courage Award. And this award goes to a kid. Think about what you have to do what this kid did. You have to have vision. And a lot of kids at this age just don't have vision. A lot of kids older don't have vision. A lot of adults don't have vision. And what I mean by vision is, like Caleb in the Old Testament, that dude had vision. He saw the land, he saw the giants in the land, but he knew the God that was behind him, and he knew that they could overtake those giants. Even though there were naysayers around, Caleb reminds me of a guy that has vision. And when I think about this guy, Anthony Frank Woj, or as Clay calls him, AFW, he has tremendous courage, and to have courage like he has a vision. This guy left his family, he left his country, came halfway around the world to another country, to people he had never met before to live with, to a school he never visited before. Can you think about that? I mean, how crazy is that? You know? But this guy loves the Lord, and he is really a courageous guy to do what he did, and I look up to him for that. And also the fact that he's 6'5". But I'm extremely proud of him, and we saw how he improved from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. And part of that was working with Hayden Clay every day and these coaches. But I'm extremely proud of him. But he had vision and has tremendous courage. Anthony Frank Woj. All right, this guy, on any other team in the state, this guy's starting. It's my 6th man, CP, as we all refer to him as. This kid, all these guys, they're all very similar in the fact that they're just easy to coach, just tremendous guys with tremendous character and integrity. And you know, CP is he's humble, and he doesn't complain. And, you know, we're trying to get him more minutes on JV, and I'm like, God, we got to get him in more games. And, you know, you put him in, he hits a 3, turns the game around. His length is unbelievable and very deceiving. I mean, guys in practice are like, CP, why are you so darn long, you know? I mean, those arms just block shots and get in the passing lanes. So the guys we were going against, I mean, they were having the same problem. He's a tremendous defender, lights out shooter. He's just an incredible guy to coach, and so proud of him. And like I say, on any other team, he's in the starting five. And I kept telling him, CP, gonna need you more tonight. Gonna need you more tonight. And you showed out big time in the Final Four championship game, throughout the run we had for the state championship. Extremely proud of you. And next year, you're gonna take off. I mean, I'm so excited to see what the Lord's gonna do the next 2 years with you on the basketball court. And I know He's got great plans for your life. So super proud of you. CP, Sixth Man of the Year Award. All right, my guy here, Hayden Clay, baby. You know who it is. So Hayden, I mean, we could have given him a number of awards. He was second on the team in scoring, so we're giving him the offensive award. He averaged over 12 points a game. He averaged over 12 rebounds a game. Led the state in rebounding. Led the state in block shots. 2.3 block shots a game. You know, and another reason he gets the offensive award is that he causes such chaos for another team's defense. It causes the defense to collapse, and it opens up the outside for the shooters. So his point total is much more than 12, and what he did is much more than that, because he allowed the shooters to just shoot at will. And just a tremendous player. Only a ninth grader, folks. See, I say 6'9". What, man? He's 6'8 3/4", something like that. I call him 6'9". He's on up there. He's got length for days. On defense, he changes a lot of shots. Between him and our outside shooters, he's an opposing coach's nightmare. And extremely proud of him and all he did, you know, and not only his play on the court, but, you know, I love seeing him posting on Instagram. He's putting the scripture on there, and it encourages all of us. And the Lord's got great plans for him. Young guy, but the Lord is already developing in you a tremendous spirit for him. And excited to see, not only, I know he's got a great future for you in basketball. And, you know, the Lord's allowing you guys to use basketball to worship Him. So I'm excited to see what He does through you in basketball, and that may be your career. And He's going to allow you to bring Him glory for a long time in that. I'm excited to see that. So offensive award goes to Hayden Clay.
Parts of this program are brought to you by Dr. Patrick Hansen and Optum Healthcare, located at the corner of Industrial Boulevard and Moore Station Road. Optum Healthcare in Dublin.
At Georgia First Bank, we understand that experience is everything, and we promise to get it right the first time, every time. Selling a mortgage loan is a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to buying a new home. At Georgia First, we have quick turnaround for approvals, usually 24 to 48 hours. And the reason for that is local decision making. Let Georgia First secure your next mortgage loan. Georgia First Bank, Soperton, Vidalia, and now in Dublin. Georgia First Bank, member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Dublin's newest and most modern hotel is the Hampton Inn & Suites. Relax and enjoy your stay while near the best in dining, golf courses, and business centers. Start your day with a free hot breakfast. Enjoy our pool, indoor fitness center, and Wi-Fi. Plan your next family reunion, meeting, training session, or social gathering at Hampton Inn & Suites, 103 Travel Center, located by Longhorn and Cracker Barrel. Hampton Inn & Suites by Hilton.
In other awards, we had two guys that were recognized by WMAZ 13 Sports as being student athletes of the week. Henry Williams and Will George. And they came down, and I'm sure everybody saw that. They were very impressive interviews, and so super proud of them for that. So great job, guys. We also had 2 All-Stars selected by the coaches in the league, and super proud of these guys, Jim Coleman and Henry Williams. So next awards are the All-Region Awards, and I felt like we deserved at least 5. I was trying to get as many on that All-Region team as possible. I felt every one of them deserved it, so I just said my piece and then shut up and just let the rest of them talk a little bit, and it worked out that every one of them was voted on, so all the starters were voted on, and CP, you're next year, buddy. So I want to call out All-Region is Jim Coleman. Henry Williams. Will George. AFW. And Hayden Clay. I'm gonna stand on the other end next time, boy. Look. So Anthony was 3rd in the state in rebounding. Hayden was first, and he was 4th in block shots, and he averaged right at 11 points a game. So great job, Anthony. We were fortunate to get 3 All-State players, and I wanted 5. We got 3, though. I was very happy about that. So, you know, again, I put everybody out there, just kind of shut up, and then I said my piece, and everybody knew that our guys were special guys. These guys garnered great respect from the other coaches in the league. I just can't tell y'all how well thought of your kids are and what an incredible job you as parents have done with these boys, because they are outstanding. And people around our league have taken notice of it. Coaches and even referees have commented on these kids and how they love doing their games and how respectful they are, and don't give them any trouble, and so extremely proud of them. So All-State, we have Hayden Clay as a freshman. George, have we ever had a freshman All-State basketball? Maybe Chad? Maybe Chad, I don't know.
20 years I've been here.
Yeah, I mean, that's an unbelievable accomplishment, y'all. Like I say, you know, led the state in rebounds, blocks, you know, tremendous player all around. So super excited what the Lord's doing in and through him. All-State, WG, come on, boy. So Will, he led the state in assists per game at 6.2 assists per game. And he was, like I say, he was pretty high up in blocks too. I mean, he wasn't too far down the list in blocks. He was 2nd in made 3-pointers with 87 on the season. That's lighting it up. And so just a tremendous year. Had 12 points a game. Just tremendous for us. Super excited for you, Will. Other All-State selection is Henry Williams. So Henry led the state in scoring with 22 points a game. He was 2nd in assists behind Will. at over 5 a game, and he led the state and made three-pointers with 106. So super excited for you, Henry, and what the Lord has for you as well, buddy. Super proud of these guys. Great job.
My name is Jeremy Blackstock. I'm the head of school at Trinity Christian. We would invite you to come to our campus so we can show you around and discuss ways that we can partner with your family in Christian education. Our goal here is to teach the truth and to have students leave here prepared to serve others and serve God in their communities.
At Georgia First Bank, we understand that experience is everything, and we promise to get it right the first time, every time. Selling a mortgage loan is a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to buying a new home. At Georgia First, we have quick turnaround for approvals, usually 24 to 48 hours. And the reason for that is local decision making. Let Georgia First secure your next mortgage loan. Georgia First Bank, Soperton, Vidalia, and now in Dublin. Georgia First Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Ask Curry Maffett Insurance in Dublin if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Real quick, I'm just going to give Coach a break, just for a minute, okay? I want to thank Miss Catherine. I think she was a full-time staff member probably for the basketball program this year. I know JV book, varsity book. She kept other books too, maybe? No? Girls. Yeah, so thank you. I also want to thank the boys, okay? You guys, so I sent a message out in the GroupMe app not long after that last game. And just to reiterate what I sent, this is a special group. I've been involved in sports, in this sport, in one way or another for a long time, coaching for a long time. And you just don't have a group like this very often. And I'm not talking about skill set. We had some skills on this team. What I'm talking about is their willingness to be coached and their willingness to work hard, the support they show for their teammates. Like I said earlier, that was evident if you watched, if your eyes veered from the action on the court at all and you looked at the bench during a game, it was evident that these guys enjoyed being around each other and they supported each other. Okay? There's even a picture of one of the games, I don't remember which one it was. You know, my son's shooting a three-pointer. Mandy may have texted. Somebody may have texted. I don't remember. Catherine? But everybody's standing up behind him, holding up threes. Now, he missed the shot. but that's...
The mouths are open. They're like...
yeah.
It was awesome.
But the point is, these guys were special for a number of reasons, okay? And being supportive guys, take that and apply that in life. Okay, some of you guys are going to college. Maybe you're playing a sport in college. Maybe you're not. You'll be working at some point someday. Some of you guys are still playing. That should be a lesson as you move forward. That matters. The chemistry, the support of your teammates matters almost as much as some of these other things that we had going on too. Okay? But another thing these guys did real well is they were receptive to, you know, the leadership. And I'm gonna switch gears here and talk about Coach. He kept us Christ-centered the entire year. Okay? And I think that's another huge part of our success. I think the Lord had His hand in this deal all year long. You know, we can point to different things as evidence of that. Okay? But these guys were receptive. They kept that in the forefront of their mind. And most of that, in my opinion, was due to this man right here. Okay? So I want to thank him next.
I tell you what, guys, I mean, you know, we had a lot of awards, and there's still one I didn't mention I want to bring back up. We get a plaque in next week, but Henry was actually selected as the Player of the Year for State of Georgia in AA. Proud of you, all of you guys. So Robbie, thank you for thanking my wife. That reminded me to thank her again and again. I'm going to need to do that over and over again. Thank you, honey. You're awesome. Love you. Appreciate you. So a couple of other thank yous, and there are plenty to go around because you all are awesome, and we greatly appreciate all of you parents and all the ones who have supported us. Mr. Blackstock, greatly appreciate you and your leadership of this ship. We have a tremendous godly leader of our school, and he directs a lot of different activities and programs and athletic teams, and not to mention all that he does with academics. So we greatly appreciate you and your leadership. And Coach George, my guy, I mean, appreciate you. He's you know, bound at the hip by his lovely wife, Miss Cat. They're a dynamic duo. They are really awesome. So, you know, you're kind of like Matt. I always know you got my back, and I greatly appreciate you and all your support. And man, we got it, buddy. We got it. So, I want to thank, I don't think Mindy's here, but our church here, they showed a great outpouring of love and support and prayers, and they fed us some and took care of that bill, and they also covered us in prayers. It's interesting how many people were praying, you know, and had a guy tell me today, it's like, I almost didn't go to that championship game, but something just told me, I need to go. He said, my wife couldn't go, my kids couldn't go, but I had to go support those boys. And I prayed all the way up there. And I'm like, you know, guys, y'all got a lot of prayer support. And, you know, I'm glad we won the game, but man, I'm telling you, the Lord's got great plans ahead for you guys, because you have had a tremendous outpouring of support and prayer during this time. So always remember that. No matter where the Lord takes you, remember where you came from. You got praying people that love you here. But we had a lot of people praying for us, and that's pretty awesome. I can't tell you how many people have told me that we're praying. We're praying. So my father-in-law, Russ, and Cookie, we greatly appreciate y'all. Russ, I watched a lot of hours of film the past 6 months or however long it's been, and quality is impeccable. I mean, it's really, really good. And I'm just so aggravated when I get film from another team. I'm like, I can't see squat. I mean, how do these people do this, you know? And I mean, we are like in the luxury box looking at, I mean, it's just an incredible film and quality. So thank you for all you've done for us. And T-Wick, Thomas, we greatly appreciate you, brother. Thomas has done some devotions for us, and Thomas is one of our biggest fans. And he texted me Sunday morning after the championship game and said, ha, it's not a dream, you know. And I'm like, man, that's right. I woke up and I still see that sitting on my counter. I'll get it to the school before long. But I'm like, yeah, I went and checked. I ran downstairs this morning, and it is on the counter. It is still there. So it wasn't a dream, buddy. We got it. And greatly appreciate you, your support and encouragement, and always being there for us, and your love for the guys. And Clay Reynolds. Clay, I talked with you this summer, and you were coming out. You were helping the guys get better in basketball, and I was prying around trying to, you know, I was just hoping you were going to be here for another season. And because your talent, your level that you're at is way beyond, you know, where you are. And the sky's the limit for you, Clay. And you're really, really good at what you do. And we love seeing you come out with the camera and when you're on the radio. And Clay, I can't tell you, again, between prayer and how many people have told me that they were listening to this game and that game and the championship game, and guys holed up around golf carts. And Kevin may be in one of them. Yeah, was that y'all in Biloxi or somewhere? Biloxi, Mississippi. And you know, somebody was like, yeah, I looked outside my neighbor, they kept going back to their truck. And she was like, I was like, what are y'all doing? They're like, we're listening to the game. Trinity's about to win, you know? And so, I mean, just countless people have told me that they listen to you, and I love to hear you. I listen to the girls' game on the way up as I'm finishing up the game notes and plans, and you do a really, really good job. So we greatly appreciate you and you always being there for us. And Jackson behind the camera over here, buddy. I died laughing when I was looking back at the championship game, and you're really good. You do a great job. I love your enthusiasm, and you know, we had AFW on 5, and you were saying, we got to switch that back. When are they going to switch that back? And I was like, Jackson, that's the plan today, buddy. Hey, I should have given you the game notes.
No, I believe them.
Yeah. Well, you're seeing a big on a small. I mean, you're like, it wasn't traditional, or, you know, the way you normally draw it up, but when you're in the championship game, sometimes you got to go for it, and that's what we did. So. But man, and the video you put together, and I mean, just a great job. So I love looking up in the booth, and you know, we got Clay over here, and I'm like, we got radio, we got TV, we got these guys, love these guys. Y'all do an incredible job. Thank you for being with us and supporting us. And Mr. Rhett, I mean, you're awesome. Mr. Rhett has always been available. I mean, tell your wife thank you, and we just greatly appreciate you. We always, you know, you make it easy on us, and we feel comfortable when you're behind the wheel, and we can focus on getting ready for the game and getting there comfortably. So greatly appreciate you, and want to thank, he's not here, but Brad from Brian Subs. Brad, for the championship game, before that game, he donated that food to the basketball team. So that was pretty awesome. And he fed us 2 or 3 times, I want to say, for all of the playoff games, and we're undefeated with Brian Subs in our tummies. I'm just saying. So some good stuff right there. So appreciate that. The Citizens Bank, Brian Bowles and Jeff Cannon, thank you. We got a spot in the parade today, and that was an awesome experience. So appreciate y'all doing that for us, and to the Clays, Michael, and to please tell Mr. Dwayne, thank you for the fire truck. I said, Jim wanted a fire truck. I'm like, we got to find a fire truck, you know. And I was striking out with what I was trying to do, and the Clays came to the rescue. So thank y'all for that. And so I don't think Parker, is Parker here? Parker Smith? So Parker, I talked to him before the season began, and just love that kid. Just very kind, respectful kid, and just a great kid. So I just asked him to be our student manager, and he was with us as much as he could be every home game, a lot of the away games, and the kid's just a servant, you know. I mean, he's getting waters, throwing towels, and he was just part of us. So greatly appreciate him. And the guys, Robbie has thanked y'all, but man, y'all made it an unbelievable season. And I was just happy to be along for the ride. I mean, y'all were pushing the pedal, and I was just hanging on. I mean, it was awesome. So love you boys, and I'm really excited about where you are, where you're going, what the Lord's doing.
Dublin's newest and most modern hotel is the Hampton Inn and Suites. Relax and enjoy your stay while near the best in dining, golf courses, and business centers. Start your day with a free hot breakfast. Enjoy our pool, indoor fitness center, and Wi-Fi. Plan your next family reunion, meeting, training session, or social gathering at Hampton Inn and Suites, 103 Travel Center, located by Longhorn and Cracker Barrel. Hampton Inn and Suites by Hilton.
Parts of this program are brought to you by Dr. Patrick Hansen and Optum Healthcare, located at the corner of Industrial Boulevard and Moore Station Road. Optum Healthcare in Dublin.
Hey, I got bad reception, but the boys did such a great job letting our friends know about the chip shortage and ordering their vehicles. Now I just need the vehicles to come in. I don't want to end up with pie in my face.
I want pie in my face.
Lost them.
Wow, look at all the new vehicles.
Ordering works after all.
You got pie now.
Others call you customers.
We call you friends.
That's Dublin Ford Lincoln.
So we're going to open the floor up now. Anybody, anywhere can come up and speak.
Yeah, well.
I couldn't have imagined a better group of coaches and teammates for this year, so thank y'all. And thank you for all my teammates who put in the work and encourage each other every day. And I also want to thank my family and everyone that came to every game. Thank y'all for coming and supporting us through our ups and downs. Thank you to Coach James for showing up each and every day to make us a better team. Thank you for coming to practice with a new drill every day that you found on TikTok that would last for a solid minute. Then we realized we should just wait for Coach John and Coach Robbie to start the real practice. Thank you to Coach Nick for always understanding where I was coming from, whether it was at practice or at a game. You always knew what I needed to hear and always encouraged me to never get down on myself. I'll never forget the conversation you, me, Jim, Henry, CP, and Matt had on the way to Dairy Queen after practice. I won't discuss those details at this time. Through it all, I respect you as a coach, but love you as a brother. Thank you, Coach Robbie, for always challenging us and pushing us to be the best team we could possibly be. Thank you for the constant reminder that when my team messed up, it was all my fault. I hope all those push-ups and sit-ups my team endured for my mistakes will have us looking good for spring break. And also, thank you for reminding me that I look like a blueberry in every away game because of my long sleeves. But on a serious note, thank you for requiring excellence from all of us. And to Coach John, also known as the 13th disciple, I have known you my whole life, yet I would have never imagined that my undefeated junior pro coach would lead us to Trinity's first ever state championship. I love the way that you always put the Lord before basketball. For example, every practice began with a Bible verse. I'll never forget the day of the championship game when we all gathered in the locker room and you read us a couple verses from 2 Chronicles saying how we need to put our faith in God and He will calm the storm. Well, if y'all remember in the third quarter when we had a couple calls that went against us, and then we had a little delay in the game due to some problems in the stands, Coach John pulled us together and said, just like I told y'all, keep your eyes on Jesus like it says in 2 Chronicles, and He will calm the storm all around you. And God did. He calmed the storm and turned the tide. And the result was victory. I could not believe the game played out just like the verses Coach John read to us. And finally, I'll never forget the first day of practice when Coach John told us that when we win the state championship game, we will put the trophy down, then praise the Lord. And we did. What I learned about the Lord this season will forever outlast any basketball achievements I ever get.
Before I get started, I knew Coach wouldn't tell anybody this, but when he was talking about Henry got Player of the Year, he also is the Coach of the Year, so I want to give him a round of applause. So I wasn't planning on speaking today at all, but then I got a text from my mom about 2 o'clock that told me about it, and I thought that was my cue. I needed to say something. So 2 hours later of typing on my notes, I scratched all of that, and I went back to what I wrote the day after the state championship, and so I'm going to read that to y'all. Dreams really do become reality. The moment I have dreamed of since I was a kid finally happened my senior year of basketball. It almost seemed like a goal that could never be accomplished, and that there was always a better team that was better than us. But this season changed my view on this. We had been beaten 3 times by this team, once by 40 on our own floor. It was almost for sure we were going to lose again. At least everyone outside our locker room thought that. You always hear that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, but you never really see it come out. But this year we saw that. When we went out, we were the true underdog story like no other. But you wouldn't have known it from seeing inside our heads, or at least mine. I just knew we were going to win. I didn't know how, and the day of the game I said I didn't know why. But I just knew we were going to win. But now I do know why. It was only through God that we were able to secure the first basketball championship in our school's history. But like I was saying, not only were the talents stacked against us, but we knew that it was going to take a lot to beat this team, and we were willing to work and go and get it. We were down 13 points in the third quarter, but we still believed, and we came back and won the game by 8. We were a special team, and it was evident we were more than just kids playing basketball. We loved playing together, a connection like I'd never had with a team before. We were selfless, and we only cared about the team's performance. We wanted it for more than ourselves. We wanted it for the person next to us. We wanted it for the fans. We wanted it for the school. We decided that we wanted to be the team to finally bring it home and win the first state championship, and we accomplished that. One thing I can say that was different about this team, other than any other team I had been on, was our belief. We always believed we were going to win no matter the situation. And I just want to thank all the coaches for everything they did this year, and everybody's for the support. Thank you.
Hey everybody. So I just wanted to come up here and mainly just thank my dad for all he has done for me and everybody up here, but mostly me because he has been with me through it all since the beginning, and ever since he started coaching me in upward when I was like 5 years old. He's always been a coach for me all the way up, and we started out in junior pro back in the day when I was in 4th grade, and we had 3 straight championships, and we went undefeated all 3 years. And he was the head coach, and me and Will and Jim were on that team with him, and those are the only 3 championships we really had in basketball up until this year. And he has always been here. He had a little break in middle school, but when we got to high school, then he was the assistant coach from my 8th grade year to my 11th grade year, and then took over head coach my senior year. And it was the best possible thing that happened for him to take over as head coach, and along with Coach Robbie, Coach Nick, and Coach James. And I just want to thank him for keeping Christ first in everything, before practice, before games, and for just showing us how to be leaders, not only just on the basketball court, but in life. And just want to thank him for everything he does.
We just have some gifts for all the coaches, so we want to give those out now.
All right, we're going to close it out tonight with my boy Ben Helton's going, just like he does at practice, he's going to pray for us, and then we're going to say, like we break down every practice and after every game, whether win or lose, and most of the time after we win, because we win a lot, these guys are winners. And even when we did have losses, I was like, look, guys, you're still winners in Christ, and you won a lot of games on the court this year. Incredible job. So Ben's going to pray us out, and then we're going to gather up, praise the Lord on 3.
All right, y'all, let's pray. Dear Lord, I just thank you for this day, God. I thank you for this opportunity to celebrate everything that's happened this season, God. I just thank you for the opportunity with this team that we've had, God, and that how you've used us this year. It's just a special thing, God, that a lot of teams just don't get to experience, Lord. And we just thank you with how we were the underdogs this year, God. And, you know, we weren't like expected to win, Lord, but we were called by you, God. And we put you first, God, and humbled ourselves before you, Lord. And you exalted us so we could give you back the glory, Lord. And we just thank you for that, God. And we pray that we would just continue to do that throughout the rest of our lives, God, with every situation in life, that we would just yield to you and just put you first, God. And so we just thank you, God. We praise you for what you've done this year. We just ask that everyone would just see like what you've done through us, Lord, and what you can do through anyone. And we're not worthy to do it, God, but by your blood we are, Lord. And we're called, Lord, and we just thank you for that. And we thank you for what you do through people who are called, God. And we just thank you for all that you've done, Lord. Just please help us to honor and glorify you through all we do, Lord, and to praise your name no matter what. In your name, amen.
Come here, guys.
Never thought I'd do this again.
Come on, James.
Praise the Lord on 3. 1, 2, 3. Praise the Lord.
Hey, don't go anywhere.